Enmu's dreams. In the movie version of Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Train arc, Tanjiro and the others were put to sleep by the blood demon art of lower rank demon number 1, Enmu, and trapped in their dreams. Normally, Enmu would use his blood demon art to put people to sleep, and while they are having sweet dreams, he would kill them. In the movie, he did that to the normal passengers, but when it came to the members of the Demon Slayer Corps, he not only put them to sleep, but also dismantled their psyche by destroying their spiritual core before killing them. It can be seen how intelligent and troublesome Enmu is as an enemy, because he would not destroy the spiritual core by himself, but he used people who had sad pasts to do his work for him under the promise that he would show them sweet dreams. Therefore, in this video, I would like to explain what Tanjiro and the others must have been feeling based on the dreams caused by Enmu's blood demon art. We'll also think about why only Rengoku was able to break the spell of the dreams by himself. So, please be sure to watch to the end of the video. Lower rank number 1, Enmu. Enmu first appears in the story when the demons of the lower rank were gathered together in the so-called power harassment meeting after the death of lower rank number 5, Rui, on Natagumo Mountain. In the meeting, Muzan Kibutsuji said that the demons of the upper rank have not changed in over 100 years, but the demons of the lower rank keep changing, so he wondered if the lower rank was really needed. Muzan quickly got frustrated with the demons and killed them one after another. The demons of the lower rank spent the rest of their short lives in fear, but in that terrible situation, there was only one demon who was enjoying himself and who was looking forward to being killed by Muzan. Yes, that demon was a sadist and psychopath, Enmu. Since Muzan can read the thoughts of all the demons, we know that Enmu's words were not lies, and he was really looking forward to death. As a result, Muzan did not kill Enmu. He gave Enmu more of his blood and ordered him to kill the pillars and Tanjiro. Enmu's blood demon art. Enmu's blood demon arts all revolve around sleep and dreams. You can tell that Enmu loves his powers because he said that his arts can work on even the most powerful demon slayer, and that the mind and spirit are the driving forces of humans. For him, even if the pillar is physically stronger than Enmu, they can still be killed if he puts them to sleep and destroys their spiritual core. That is what makes Enmu strong. Enmu's 3 blood demon arts. The first of the arts occurs when he mixes his blood with an activation medium. He can then activate the art later and hypnotize the person holding the medium, even if he is not in that area. On the Infinity Train, Enmu's blood demon art was activated when the conductor punched the tickets that were smeared with Enmu's blood. Tanjiro, who has an amazing sense of smell, noticed the suspicious smell of blood, but was put to sleep in an instant. The second blood demon art is called Whispers of Forced Unconscious Hypnosis. The mouth that's on Enmu's hand forcibly puts people to sleep with a strong hypnotic suggestion. Tanjiro fell prey to this art after he woke up from the art used on the ticket. However, thanks to the advice of his father in the dream, Tanjiro was able to break the spell by killing himself in the dream. The third blood demon art is called Eyes of Forced Unconscious Sleep. With this art, Enmu changes himself into a monster with many eyes and causes those he makes eye contact with to fall asleep. In the story, Enmu used this art after he merged with the train, so he could produce eyes anywhere within the train. In fact, when Tanjiro was fighting Enmu in this form, it was an extremely tough battle because as soon as he would wake up from a dream, he would open his eyes and be put back to sleep. On the other hand, when it came to Inosuke, it was hard to tell where he was looking because of his boar mask. So, this art did not work very well on him. Enmu could also change what type of dreams his victims were experiencing. He could show them sweet dreams or change their dream to a nightmare at will. Enmu normally changed happy dreams into nightmares. Enmu is quite a sadist, so those nightmares would include being overwhelmed by unfortunate circumstances, suffering, struggling, or seeing everyone's faces in a distorted way. Enmu could also know what was happening with each of his victims at any moment. We can see evidence of this because when he is looking to see what progress he has made, he says, "I'm having some trouble with that dream, and they haven't destroyed anyone's spiritual core yet." The dreams made by Enmu are not infinite in scope, but they are contained in a circular world centered on the dreamer. On the outside of the circle that contains Enmu's dream is the subconscious mind of the dreamer, which holds the spiritual core. If that spiritual core is destroyed, the dreamer's psyche will be dismantled. Enmu used regular people to go into the dreams and destroy the spiritual evil core. The reason for doing that is the members of the Demon Slayer Corps and the pillars would notice if a demon were to enter their dreams. On top of that, he always made sure he never touched the bodies of the members of the Demon Slayer Corps when he put them to sleep. From that, you can see how much he feared the Demon Slayer Corps. Enmu, after taking much time for preparation, was able to trap Tanjiro and the others into sweet dreams in which they would not want to return to reality. With all of that in mind, I want to look at the dreams that Tanjiro and the others were forced to have by Enmu. Zenitsu's dream. Zenitsu's dream starts with him and Nezuko running hand in hand under some peach trees. They were talking about eating delicious peaches, and Zenitsu said that he would make a crown out of clovers for Nezuko. They were both happy with their romantic date. Along the way, as they were about to cross a river, Nezuko looked worried and said that she couldn't swim. Zenitsu happily blushed. From this, we can see that Zenitsu was glad to have someone who would rely on him. He was so happy. Looking closely at this scene, we can see that the blue sky stretches out behind the couple. This means that the date took place during the day. And examining Nezuko's eyes, we can see that one of the traits of a demon, vertical irises, like those of a cat, is not present. So she must have been turned back into a human. I think that it is possible that Zenitsu's wish for a date with his beloved Nezuko and also his desire for her to become human again were both fulfilled by this dream. You can see Zenitsu's true feelings towards Nezuko because he wanted her to have the sweetest peach, even if that meant crossing the river. Also, for Zenitsu, peach groves are places that bring back memories, and peaches hold a special significance for him. In the story, peaches often appear in flashback scenes with his master, the former Pillar of Thunder, Jigoro Kuwajima, and the other apprentices. Also, it is said that one of the meanings of the peach flowers is unrivaled characteristics. As was noticed by Rui's older brother, on Natagumo Mountain, Zenitsu can only use the first form of thunder breathing. Mr. Kuwajima must have noticed those unrivaled characteristics in Zenitsu because he did not abandon Zenitsu when he could only use the first form of thunder breathing. In fact, Mr. Kuwajima taught Zenitsu to truly master what he could do. On top of that, Zenitsu existed inside his subconscious domain, which should not have been possible. Normally, that area is completely abandoned. But that is not true for people who have a strong sense of personal awareness or an awareness of their own power. Ever since he met Nezuko at the Fuji house, he fell deeply in love with her. He decided that he was going to marry her, so he would not regret losing his life for her. I guess you can say someone with a strong will would also be prone to reach a hasty decision like that. Zenitsu's subconscious is jet black, a type of darkness where you can't even see your feet. There, Zenitsu is in a worse mood than usual, wears black clothes, and has huge pruning shears. That version of Zenitsu would chase an intruder with the shears and say that he would kill the intruder because only Nezuko is allowed there. That blackness could be a representation of the darkness of Zenitsu's heart, caused by the fact that he was abandoned by his parents at such a young age that he cannot remember their faces, and he never got a name. Zenitsu wants Nezuko to return to being a human, but she is currently a demon. He made the subconscious jet black because deep down, he has accepted the fact that Nezuko is a demon, and he wanted a place where he could accept her for who she is. Inosuke's dream. Inosuke had the following dream. It was a dream in which Inosuke had not changed, but Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Zenitsu's faces all changed to represent an animal. Tanjiro was a raccoon, Nezuko was a rabbit, and Zenitsu was a mouse. They also wore simple sleeveless shirts. Inosuke called them Underling number 1, 2, and 3, but he called himself the leader of the cave expedition. At one point, Nezuko was following behind, so Inosuke said that he would give her a shiny acorn if she would hurry up. Actually, acorns are the favorite foods of boars. So, for Inosuke, who was raised by boars, a shiny acorn would be a real treasure. Inosuke is always saying headlong rush, so it's easy to think of him as a person who uses force to solve problems, but in this case, he tried to motivate Nezuko by giving her an acorn. So, it can be seen that Inosuke might actually be a good boss. At first, this dream looks like a kid's dream, but in it, you can see that Inosuke wants to be a leader. Inosuke's subconscious is the same as Zenitsu's, completely dark. Not only is it dark, but it is narrow, like a cave. There, a more animalistic, wild version of Inosuke is crawling around. In the 7th volume of the manga, we can see Inosuke's ideal appearance, which is that of a fire-breathing boar that stands 3 meters tall and has a lot of horns like a dinosaur. From that, we can see that Inosuke certainly does want to become stronger. Tanjiro's dream. Tanjiro had a dream that was more real than Zenitsu's or Inosuke's because it was about what would have happened if Muzan didn't kill his family. He really regrets the fact that he was the only one who was in a safe place when Muzan was slaughtering the rest of his family. That's why, in the dream, the fact that everyone was alive and living happily together was such a great dream for him. Even though he was happy with his family in the dream, suddenly, Nezuko's box appeared. When Tanjiro heard that she was out collecting plants in the mountain, he became worried about her being outside during the day. Tanjiro finally figured out he was dreaming because another version of him appeared in a river and yelled that he was in a dream and that he had to wake up to fight for his life. But even though he knew he was in a dream, he did not know how to wake up. At that moment, Tanjiro's father appeared behind him and said that there was something that he needed to cut with that blade of his. Hearing that, he knew that dying in the dream would be the best way to wake up. The appearance of his father seems a little sudden. That was actually Tanjiro's instincts warning him. He did not really understand the situation himself, so his instincts took the form of Nezuko's box and Tanjiro's father. What if the occurrences in a dream are connected to reality? Tanjiro was worried that the self-harm in the dream would have the same effect in reality, but he decided to cut off his own head. That is how he succeeded in waking up from the dream. Tanjiro's subconscious has a clear blue sky that could heal and warm even the coldest heart. The person that entered Tanjiro's dream was amazed by the sight. Also, there are small shining people living within Tanjiro's dream. In the manga, we don't know how many people there are, but in the movie, there are 6 people. That is the same number of his family members that died. His father, mother, little sister, and 3 little brothers. There's a small chance that the small glowing people are a representation of his lost family members. Tanjiro is always thinking about his parents, but maybe his family is also worried about the surviving Tanjiro and Nezuko. If those glowing people are Tanjiro's family, he always has them with him at heart, so Tanjiro and Nezuko can continue to live on. Rengoku's dream. Finally, let's talk about Rengoku's dreams. Rengoku was different from the others because he actually had 2 different dreams. Some may think that he only had a dream about his mother, but actually, in the beginning, there was a scene where 2 demons appear in quick succession after the conductor punches his ticket. In the movie, after the 2 demons were dealt with, it showed Rengoku and Tanjiro sleeping next to each other, so some may think that the demons were real. But, on the other hand, it can also be thought that those demons also appeared in Rengoku's dreams. There are 3 reasons that prove that to be a dream. The first is that Enmu put his blood on the tickets and set up the blood demon art so that it would go off as soon as the ticket was punched. That was noticed by Tanjiro as soon as he woke up the first time. With that in mind, as soon as the tickets were punched, Rengoku and the others would have fallen asleep and would not have been able to fight any demons. The second reason happens after the demons are dealt with. The scene in which Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke asked to become apprentices is unnatural. Even if the 3 were amazed by his sword work, the language they use and the way they act seems strange. Also, their faces seem to be drawn differently in this scene as well. It's strange because Inosuke, who thinks of himself as powerful, would ask to become an apprentice, and also Tanjiro, who is always so polite, does not address Rengoku in a formal way, but is more laid back. It's easy to tell that this is Rengoku's dream because he is the only one talking as he would talk in reality. It is really a dream you would expect Rengoku to have because he is always looking after and trying to raise up the junior members of the Demon Slayer Corps. Also, you can see one of Rengoku's beloved features in the dream, the fact that he does not listen to people very much. He even goes so far as calling Tanjiro Mizoguchi Boy because there is a shrine called Mizoguchi Kamado, and Kamado is Tanjiro's last name. Also, Rengoku first meets Inosuke and Zenitsu on the Infinity Train, so he probably does not remember what their faces looked like that much. That is why Zenitsu's face looks like a mouse. It is just the image that Rengoku had of the 3 people at the time, so their faces would look different in his dream. The third reason is that after the battle with the 2 demons, the train was too quiet. Even though the demons were dealt with, normal people who have never seen demons would not be that quiet after the battle. Also, Rengoku and Tanjiro have a strong sense of responsibility, so they would never sleep during their mission. They would probably remain vigilant, look around the train, and try to help the confused passengers. From all of that, we can tell that the battle with the 2 demons was just one of Rengoku's dreams. Rengoku's second dream. Rengoku's second dream was about the time in his past when he told his father that he became the flame pillar. More than likely, Rengoku wanted his father to be happy for him and proud, but his father only scoffed at the news. I can't help but think that the dream was not a happy dream. Why was it that Rengoku did not have a happy dream? Enmu said that he first has people have happy dreams. So, I bet there were a lot of people that were wondering why only Rengoku was having a nightmare. We can get clues for the reason from the portrayal of Rengoku's dream. There are two possible reasons that we can think of. Firstly, we noticed that there were differences in the way the four demon slayers fell asleep. The way Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu fell asleep was different from the way Rengoku fell asleep. The three younger demon slayers were all shown sinking into water when they fell asleep, but that was not the case for Rengoku. Sinking into the water represents the demon slayers falling into a deep sleep, a sleep that Enmu said that they would not be able to wake up from. On the other hand, this did not happen to Rengoku. So, that means there is a possibility that he did not have a happy dream because he did not sleep as deeply as the others. Also, people who are under the power of Enmu's blood demon art should not be able to move their body, but as Rengoku was dreaming, he moved his body to grab the girl who was trying to destroy his spiritual core. It could be that he was not completely under the power of the art, which means he could move his body when he felt danger, and he was not sleeping deeply. That may be why he did not have a happy dream. The next possibility is, even though the dream did not look happy to us, it might have been a happy dream from Rengoku. There is a possibility that Enmu would have noticed if Rengoku was not having a happy dream. It is apparent that Enmu knew what kind of dreams Tanjiro was having by what he said in a later conversation, and in his fight with Tanjiro, Enmu had Tanjiro have dreams in which he was being blamed by his family members for surviving, so it looks like Enmu has at least a little control over what dreams his victims have. So, in other words, Rengoku's second dream was a happy dream. After his battle with Akaza, Rengoku said, "Even if you stop moving forward or cower down, time will not stop for you. Your mourning will not slow the march of time." As you can see from those words, Rengoku was not the type of person to look back at the past. When his mother was alive, everyone in his family was happy, but now he just took the death of his mother as something that occurred in the past. And as a member of the Demon Slayer Corps, he always has to deal with death. I think that Rengoku was happy with his everyday life because he felt joy of living more than ordinary people. This is especially true because he was a pillar. Even if his father was cold-hearted and he was feeling dejected, the ability to look forward and live his life with his little brother, becoming strong so that he would be able to protect weaker people just as his mother wanted, was just part of Rengoku's everyday, so it made him happy. The ground of Rengoku's subconscious is made up of something like tile, and fire sometimes shoots out from the cracks. His passion for becoming stronger and having the younger members of the Demon Slayer Corps become stronger is shown as the flames in the subconscious. That's all we have to say about the dreams Tanjiro and the others saw on the Infinity Train. What do you think? Even though Rengoku died after the battle on the Infinity Train, his thoughts and appearance were deeply etched into the hearts and minds of the three young demon slayers. After the events of the Infinity Train, whenever Tanjiro was having trouble in the battle, he would remember what Rengoku did or said and get even stronger. Especially in the case of Tanjiro, the dreams of Enmu may have, unexpectedly, made Tanjiro develop into a better demon slayer, so they played an important role in the story. What do you think about the dreams of Tanjiro and the others? Please be sure to leave a comment with your thoughts. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. We will be uploading more videos on Kimetsu no Yaiba, including rankings and discussion videos in the future. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a thing. See you next time.